Welcome back to Classic Arcade Repairs. My name is Sean, and on today's video repair, we're going to be looking at this missile command board. And we have a Pokey 1. Check that out. I've never seen one. Cool. Pokey 1. I can tell right off the bat this thing has issues with these ROMs and these sockets are not a good mix. So these are going to take a bath and some Tarnex to clean these legs off. Then we got our Pokey 1 up there. That's really cool. Yeah. We're a little bit burned up here. We can fix that. No problem. That tells me that this game, the board that this game came out of, has a bad edge connector. So please, owner of this board, address your edge connector. Otherwise you're just going to have problem after problem. Okay, excellent. Okay, feels like he might be a little broke. Okay. Well, we got our harness all ready to go, so let's go ahead and put this one on here and fire it up and see if it does anything. Before I do put this in my edge connector, this has to be dealt with. This repair has to be made. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. There's solder on a lot of these. Yes, this definitely has a bad edge connector. You should not have to do this. So I'm going to clear all of this off because I'm not stretching my edge connector over here out. I'm not going to ruin my edge connector. So please, owner of this board, you're going to have to replace your edge. Yeah, so, and if I have a video on doing a millipede about replacing the edge connector on a millipede, so you can check that out. But I'm going to go ahead and repair this, remove all this solder, and then we'll be back to fire it up. And this customer also sent me his AR board that goes along with this game to rebuild. So I'm going to rebuild his AR board and I'll throw it in my millipede and test all the voltages on my millipede with his AR to verify that it's good to go. Just waiting for the gun to heat up a little bit more, and then we're going to hit that edge connector. And we are all cleaned up and repaired. All them solder blobs are removed. And we got our copper tape fix on this one, wrapping around. So now we can go ahead and hook it up and fire it up. See what we get. Okay, so I have this thing fired up. Edge connector's on, you got your LED going, and so far so good. Let's throw it into test. I didn't hear any sound. Okay. I think I had the sound all the way down, maybe. No, there's no sound. So it looks like there's no sound on the board. So I'm going to have to hook the trackball up and test this thing out. So I will be right back. Okay, so I have hooked up the trackball, and you'll see the little cursor moves left, it moves right, it moves up and down. Trackball works just fine. But what we don't have is sound. And this has an LM324 on it, and I'm just going to jump the LM324 and see what happens. I'll be right back. Alright, I have an LM324 jumped over, and we'll put it into test. And that's the whole problem, is the LM324. So we're going to replace that guy, and then we're just going to do some maintenance on this board. I'm going to replace this because I don't like that sticking up like that, and it feels a little, it feels like it's ready to break right off. I'm going to clean these chips legs. I'll probably replace this row of sockets. I just don't like these sockets. This one I'm going to leave because the pokey one has thicker legs that go down in there, so this is actually a good socket for pokey 1. So I'm going to leave that alone. But these guys I believe I will replace, and I might wash this board. It's pretty damn dirty. It is. It's really dirty. I am going to wash this board. So it's going to get a wash, it's going to get the legs cleaned on these guys, this guy. I'm probably going to replace these sockets. I might just, you know what, they're gold plated, I might just kind of take some Tarnex, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean them with Tarnex, and they should be fine. And that'll be it. That'll be the repair on this guy. It's a little maintenance, cleaning, LM324. Trackball works great. Good to go. So let me get to that stuff, cleaning up. Okay, I was just out doing some cleaning, and look at these chips. These chips look like new. And take a look at this board. It's still drying. I just doused it with alcohol, rubbing alcohol. It looks awesome. I took Tarnex to the ROM sockets and the CPU socket and the Pokey 1 socket. Just kind of brushed it with Tarnex and let it do its thing for a few minutes before I washed it. The board's beautiful. So I'm going to replace that crystal. I'm going to replace that LM324. Let it completely dry good. Put it back together and we'll test it out. Okay, I'm going to start popping some of these chips back into the board. Just want to get a good close-up look. Yeah, everything looks good. Sockets look nice and gold inside. Don't see no damage. These chips, the legs are nice and silver. They start low, the numbers start low and they go high. So we have a 823, 824, 825, 820, 22, and this will be 21. 21. So this is this one. This is this one. This is this one. All the way up the line. This board would be looking like it just left Atari. Nice clean silver legs on the CPU. And our Pokey Uno. The dot marks pin 1, so that goes up here. Can't see. Okay. And a little snap, and it goes. Alright, I still have to, I'm going to replace this because it's just rocking on there. It's getting wobbly and wobblier. It's like broke inside. And I'm going to replace the op amp. Op amp and crystal. That's about it. I'll go ahead and, pardon me, plug my solder gun in, desolder gun in. Okay. We will let that baby heat up. Boy, those look new. It looks new back here. And normally, just so everyone knows, normally I would replace these sockets, but the reason I'm not this time is because these are all silver plated pins on these ROMs. Silver and gold go good together as long as it's clean. So if you have clean sockets in here and you have clean legs, that'll make a good contact. Same with the CPU. That's why I'm not replacing these. If these were EPROMs, I would replace them because those they just don't connect good. Those EPROMs legs get flaky. They corrode up and stuff, and you can't really get it off. You can shine them up by a wire wheeling them and stuff, but even then, you do that, you're messing with the integrity of the leg. So if it's EPROMs, I'm going to replace these. Where you get and put in a dual wipe socket where you get a good long swipe on that EPROM leg. But because this is a little contact, it's only 2 contact points on that leg. It's like this, whereas the dual wipe is like this. You know, it really swipes it. Where these things are like a point, 2 points on the leg coming down. But since these are silver and gold, that'll make good contact. I think we're good. I think we're good to go with the, let's get the crystal first. And now we will desolder the amp, which is right here. Yeah, we were a little plugged up. Ah. There it goes. There it went. Alright, now I got a mess here. I'm going to have to re-hit a few of these at least. Oh yeah. Just on the chip above the legs, you want to give it a nudge. 2 nudges, one here, one here. Until it kind of breaks free. Same thing on this side. You'll hear those little sweat joints where the leg goes into them holes. You'll hear it snap. You'll hear it break free. And then it should just come out, but sometimes you need to help it a little bit. Ow. Eee. Damn thing. Okay, looks good. Turn on the iron. Drop the new one in there. You know what? Yep, these op amps, I am going to put a socket in for the op amp. They are a high enough failure rate part that warrants a socket. Boy, this one's about done. I gotta grab me a new brush. This one's about had it. Okay. Got me a new brush. Helps it dry if you just kind of go around, spread that alcohol out. Helps it dry. But we're good and clean. Let me grab a 10 megahertz crystal. You gotta be effing kidding me. Guys, I don't have 10 megahertz crystals. Ugh. Oh, goodness gracious. Are you kidding? What an oversight on my part. I don't have 10 megahertz crystals. Wow. Little leaf or something. I don't have 10 megahertz crystals. That's amazing. What a debacle. Oh, shoot. Where'd you go, Mr. Crystal? Dagnabbit. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to put an 11.09 whatever crystal in it for now. Just to get it working and stuff. And I'm going to have to order 10 megahertz crystals. And before I ship this back, I'm going to have to put the correct crystal in it. I don't have 10 megahertz crystals. It's absolutely ridiculous. I've got a whole boatload of 11.5 whatever's. It's the frequency that they use, you know, for serial communication, basically. So I will put one of those in for now. It'll run a little fast. It'll be overclocked a little bit. It will be noticeable. Yeah. You know what? I'd love to lay this thing down. Can't really do it though. Okay. Okay, my cutters. I don't see my cutters. Once again, a little cleanup. Just kind of go out around it. That'll help it dry. That off, that's off. Put this away. Okay. Crystal, that's solid. Okay, we're ready to make sure to get this cleaned off good. Put this up here, parts to parts. Get everything ready to go. All right, and ROMs are all in the right way. I don't need to fry nothing. Good, 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 good. Pokey 1, good. Op amp, good. All right. And that right there, this is perfect example. It's running. And our horizontal frequency is off. Our horizontal frequency is off because we have the wrong frequency crystal in the board. I can adjust the horizontal frequency on that monitor to dial it in, but I am not going to. It's working, but I'm not messing with my monitor. This is the board problem. It's that crystal. So what I'm going to do is let's check the sound. Good to go. And it's back to running. Missile command screen. I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to dig and I'm going to find that 10 megahertz crystal out of the garbage and put it in the board. I am replacing that 10 megahertz crystal though, because it's not long for this world. That thing's not. But it'll do for now. I'm taking that out. I'm not going to mess with my monitor to adjust it in. I could very easily adjust that in. But all of these boards put out 15.7 or whatever it is kilohertz signal to sync this. If I mess it up if I mess it up now and I adjust that horizontal frequency to accept this, you know what we can do for fun? Let's find out what our horizontal frequency is right now. Normal is, here's horizontal sync right here. Let's hook up to that and see what it reads. Normal, this monitor works on 15.7. So let's see what it is. I'll be right back. Okay, here is our horizontal sync signal. And if we zoom in, move up and zoom in, right there it is. Oops, sorry. Darn it. Come on, cooperate, please. I am so sorry. 17.2 kilohertz is what this thing's horizontal sync signal is right now. That's why that is out of sync. I can adjust that to this frequency and it'll work just fine. The board will run fast. But I put the 10 megahertz crystal back in here and this is going to say 15.7. So I'm going to do that, guys. I'm going to dig it back out of the trash. I'm going to put the 10 megahertz crystal back in here. And I don't know. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait until I get I don't want to change it twice. I'm just going to change it one more time. So I'll wait for my 10 megahertz crystals to show up. This one is essentially done. It's good to go. It's just a crystal problem. So I'm going to end this one just like this. Back this up. And yeah, nice and clean. Absolutely clean. But I'll go ahead and right now, after I turn this camera off, I'm going to jump on, I don't know, maybe Mauser.com and put in a little order, but I'm going to order about 20 10 megahertz crystals so that I never have this problem again. Not for another long time. So it's good to have a lot of those on stock anyway, because these are always broken off. So Missile Commands always have broken crystals. It's weird. So yeah. Alright guys. Alright. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, please. You know, get notified of new videos coming out. I'm always doing this, so there's always something going on here at the shop. But we're going to call this one good, because in all reality, it is done. It's just a crystal, for crying out loud. So, well, we fixed the sound. We cleaned it up. We cleaned a lot of maintenance. This was a maintenance repair. Plus, it's going to have a new crystal and the op amp for sound. Everything else works just fine. So, alright guys, thanks a lot, and we will see you on the next repair. Well, I know I said it was over, guys, but boy, it only took me about 2 minutes after I turned the camera off. Not even that, it took about 1 minute after I turned the camera off. I was like, oh, I cannot leave this like this. I can't do it. I just couldn't do it. I've got about 2 other Missile Command boards, 3 actually, here for repair. More than that, I think I got 4 waiting on repair. So what I did was I took one from one of those boards, and this is one of those, I don't know if you guys know the difference between crystals. This is one that has the big fat legs. This is a solid as can be crystal right here. No wobble to it. They really don't make them like this anymore. It's got really, the legs barely fit through these holes, you know, they're that big. So I put that in here, and we're back to, you know, proper frequency, working proper. So now I'm going to call this one good. When I get my crystals, I'll put a crystal in the board that I took this one out of, and all will be good with the world. Yep. Guys, now we are done. So I appreciate everyone watching, and see you on the next repair. Peace out, everybody.